Well, it was almost a comeback. It was almost going to be Disguise's third overtime of the day, but Evil Geniuses finished what they started and able to take out the win on our first map over on Fracture. And such a strong fashion too, Vance. I know at the end, Disguise were stringing round after round, but EG, I mean, they came out to prove something, that's for sure.
Yeah, and you know what? Maybe that's why I don't see it being as strong. Yes, they started off quite well for EG, but once DSG was able to get that momentum back, it definitely looked like it was a lot closer than it was supposed to be as a final scoreline. And EG definitely had to pull out a little bit more out of their pockets to try to figure out a solution to finally close into the last final round. What were we at, like 12-7 or something like that, until we actually were able to close it off here for EG. So it did take a bit. It did take a lot for them to learn about DSG's playstyle with a double duelist on defense. But seeing that they're able to pull that many rounds on defense as a double duelist composition, it shows to me that on the attack of Ascent, it might still look very good.
Well, what's sticking out to me too is Disguise. I expected them to be able to string rounds together coming into this, because this was their map pick, all things considering Pro was banned out. So I wanted to see them get those rounds. I think it was just a little too late in it, Dan, to try and force that overtime, try and take their map pick. And EG, they had just gotten so much of a head start at that point, they were able to come out on top.
Yeah, and even though we were saying all this, I did expect actually a lot more aggression coming through. The way that we saw at the end for DSG, but a lot more early on aggression for that Jet and that Raze that we talked about, for these double duelists that attempted to make some plays early on, and they were getting shot down a couple times with the Cypher util. They were getting shot down as well by Kinsey. There were a couple of things slowing them down. It seems like that shut down the play just for a couple rounds. They came back, they looked strong, but it was still not enough to be able to make that full comeback for DSG. It's still great to see that this team that has proven now a couple times to be momentum based, to make it in such a close map against one of the best that we have in Game Changers.
100%. And for Disguised as well, seeing them on the defensive half, those retakes they were having, and it just coming out from this team, the synergy that they have on these plays and their util and their coordination at some points, fans, is something that I don't get to see in every team all the time. I feel like they've got something really figured out already with the squad.
Yeah, for sure. And I think defense, you got to give it up for even both of the Sentinels, right? Even if it doesn't look like Hannah did too well because of what she currently had displayed in terms of kills and deaths, but when it comes down to anchoring sites, she did her job. She found the info, late hits, great camera positioning as well, and Stephanie did a great job anchoring too. And those were also like the two pivotal players that are able to just be the glue basically on how you want to work the aggression on the attack that allows those players just like Kinsey and just like everybody else to try to push out and get these early kills. So I want to see more of that going into the second map as well on Ascent. But again, I feel that despite this showing like a 13-10 scoreline on this first map here on Fracture, it doesn't really paint the full picture of how everybody performed quite well individually.
100%. And looking forward to Ascent now, with Evil Geniuses up a map, stealing Disguise map pick off of them. I'm curious with how this one's going to be going down, especially to this will be Evil Geniuses dance starting on the attack.
EG starting on the attack. So, I mean, if you know, you go by recency on this map, we've seen how defensive side it can really be. And that is going to be a key opportunity for this guys to see how they're going to find those openings. I think we also have the question of they've been changing a couple of things here and there for some maps compared to what we saw in the first couple of days of competition to now. Well, last time that we saw Ascent from them, it was the Katarina Jet and the unstable Reyna that was actually being played out. Everything else looked pretty standard, but those two and the Reyna looked not what we're used to for sure. And I think with this kind of scenario, when you're trying to make it to the main event, when you're playing against Evil Geniuses, you're more likely than not to expect now that the standard comp that you would see on this map.
That's what I was going to try to get to. You're playing and trying to throw your opponents off guard with some random compositions, but the way that it's quote unquote meant to be played at the standard that you currently see is probably like 80% of the time you see that it's the Sova, Killjoy, Omen, KO, and Jet, exactly. And then maybe from time to time you have a Viper come out if you're C9, for example, or the guard or whatnot, but most of the times that's the way to play it, and then you just have to try to activate your duelists a little bit more. And activating your duelists, I've always mentioned that Kinsey on a Jet, this is their playground. But this could also be something very good here for DSG side with Katarina.
Hey, Dan, even if you won't have the Reina Copium out, I will have it for you here. Because out of any team that we have going on in this, if there was going to be a team that pulls up with something a little bit more whack, a little bit more out there, I feel like it'd be them, especially too when they do have this strong duelist, whatever they want to play, going on and unstable in the team, combined with just the duelist prowess of Katarina, Dan. I feel like it could be really interesting. It'll probably be something standard, but I got that coat for you, you know?
Yeah, I also it'd be great because one of the things that I've seen is Katarina on the Jet is absolutely insane, and she is also incredibly flexible. If you see her on stream, she's playing just a little bit of everything, just like the rest of the team, right? We talked about Unstable being flexible as well, but that's gonna be the main point for making Katarina go into playing this Jet, or is Unstable gonna hold on to it if we were not going to see that Reina, right? So only one duelist is gonna be possible in that scenario. Are you gonna give it to Katarina, or are you gonna give it to Unstable, who is finding some amazing kills with the operator?
The thing is too is my question mark is it going to be the case? Will there only be one duelist? Because if you've witnessed DSG's run so far throughout the whole qualifiers today on the stream, exactly. If it wasn't a Raze and a Jet, it was a Jet and a Phoenix. So we'll have to see if it's a double duelist on a set. Very interesting. I haven't seen that in a long time.
It'd be fun. We'll have to see. We're going to have to wait a little bit to see, though. We're going to take a quick break while we get this loaded up. We'll be back soon.
The stream is saved. Welcome back to the Verizon Game Changer. See, I told you, Dan, whenever we get back on camera, I just can never say Verizon. You see what I mean? But we were just signing off Dan Dryde, who's been holding up the stream here as a host. So great job here to, what did I say, Dan Dryde? I meant Sierra Dunn. But anyways, we're getting back into it. That's why I want to move quick. I'm talking very fast because we want to get into the game.
It's a long day.
And that's it right there. That's it right there. We're in a set. Thank you all for your patience. Now we get into the comp, and we still get the Reina.
We have the Reina. This is an amazing day. This is a great day for me only, and for DSG if they win this.
I'm actually intrigued. I'm actually happy. It's a good day for me too, because I've never seen the double duelist with a Reina in here. Only my ranked games. So this is going to be a fairly interesting one.
It is going to be great. And one of the points that we were talking about was who's going to be holding that Jet? Who's going to be playing that Reina? Last time around when DSG played on Ascent, it was actually the other way around. It was Unstable actually playing that Reina. So things switch up a little bit. Both of them really showing that flexibility when it comes to the duelists. And this is a map that we actually didn't see on that day one when we got to see DSG. So this is also just new for everybody watching how the Katarina Unstable double duelist is gonna play on Ascent.
Yeah, gonna be a very good one indeed. And it's now already time to kick things off. DSG choosing their defensive side as this is EG's map pick. So an opportunity here to gain a lot of rounds on the defensive side of Ascent. But Unstable's the one that strikes first. Nice little pick on Thea, dashes away. As EG is looking to rework the map though, up towards middle, breaking the alarm bot, and straight into a potential split to B.
Tower down.
There's two players already on this side. Hannah and Lazy Lion have been here. Gonna have to play backside. Go for the swing. Hannah gets taken down by Kinsey.
Got the dink too, and now Lazy Lion's alone in the back of the side. Pushed forward by Kinsey still. An advantage swings back now for Evil Geniuses on the pulse plant. Sholiana watching the flank towards the B main. Alarm bot now spots Unstable. Sholiana says, okay, you only have to worry about potentially just two more players. The Jiggle Peek first, the Paranoia to allow Unstable to swing out. Nice little combination there. And still a Lear available for Katarina for the retake as EG are playing. Pulse plants triple in the back of the site. Now the lockdown gets broken. Power Pixel gets the pick off with the Visu. Nano Swarm to delay here on the attack. Katarina pushing forward. Double kill coming out from DSG. Back to a 1 versus 1. Full heal now as Katarina swings across the headshot of the Power Pixel. And DSG will get the defuse here for the pistol round.
We'll get it just in time as that re-hit, that re-control starts to take place for DSG, and they do so perfectly. Katarina was low in HP, was able to heal as that Reyna and gets the last pick into the 1v1. Very, very well done. And early on, we get to see a little bit of that Reyna, how it's going to be playing out. These rounds on the defense are crucial for DSG. So the bows are going to have to look strong. The pivot that we saw for EG was good, trying to play a little bit more reactionary on this map, but they're going to have to adapt. Goes for Sholiana, and Sholiana on this map is insane. I don't know what's about it. What is it about Sholiana on this Sova on Ascent? Yeah. But I always see the multi-kills, the Hunter's Fury kills, the kills with the shock darts, everything. This is the best map for Sholiana, so I'm excited to see how she's going to show up here.
Yeah, definitely. 2 players to look out for on this map. For me, for sure, for EG or Sholiana and Kinsey.
Yes.
And as Sholiana is going to get pressured at the same time towards this B site, Kinsey has made it behind enemy lines. That's a trade-off. That's instant. Paranoia due to flood into the B site. And there's that entry. Nicely done here. Missing out a little bit on that mid-watch there because all of that utility was still holding up towards this B main. And DSG once again has to play the retake. This time around, though, it's pretty much even in terms of the type of weapons that we have for EG on the post plant. All of them once again inside the B site. Smoke being set up towards the right side. Thea crossfire set up. Paranoia coming through. But it's just good enough for EG to hold it down and to get the thrifty.
It happens again. We saw it in Fracture, and we get to see that this kind of score once again for EG. It is capitalizing from that hole that we saw on the defense, right? Going all the way towards mid, going right behind and finding those early picks as the spike gets planted. Post lane was so much more benefited by it early on, and also being able to step up right at the end with Paranoia coming right in and being a nuisance for DSG to deal with. So an eco ends up taking place for DSG into this round number 3 after winning that pistol. Not the way that they wanted for things to go unstable. So aggressive.
Yeah. Yikes. An attempt to try to catch some players off guard here, dashing forward and hoping to get the pick up to Sholiana. Was looking at drone up there. Finally, Katarina pops one down, but gets traded right away.
1 enemy remaining.
And that window of opportunity for a surprise coming out from DSG does not come into fruition this time around. EG holds it strong on a surprise play. That's a take 2 now.
Unstable trying to catch a timing. Trying to play more aggressive, but the drone coming right in and everybody's ready for it. Just one of the things they need to be aware of, whether it's a double duelist or just the jet alone, these kind of players, those are the things that they like to do towards mid, so having to be very aware of it. And Evil Genius is doing so far. Kinsey already having that Blaze Storm, same as Unstable.
So they're trying to work it quick. Little Paranoia push forward. Unstable with that operator. Oh, the timing on that. Of the null command. No dash for Unstable. Punished by Kinsey. Cloudburst in the air to block at least the recon guard. Long range connects at the Katarina. And DSG's defense on the A site crumbles down. Up to Hannah and Lazy Lion. Aldrone available, but you just got to come out and shoot. But Kinsey's with the Blade Storm. Lazy Lion answers back with 2. Spike now planted, knows exactly what a 2v1 is, but drops right in front of Sholiana. And EG now manages to get 3 rounds in a row, really breaking the economy of DSG now on defense.
I can't believe the timing for that null command right in the middle of Unstable, just trying to get out. You see this, about to dash out and just gets taken down in the middle of the players trying to come right in and being able to come right in for EG. A faster play towards that A side and utilizing those early ultimates. The team was able to get a Blade Storm for Kinsey. Power Pixel being that supporter once again. The knife is going to connect. Unstable once again so pressed this time around just by the knife.
Yeah, a half buy here. Buying around the Blade Storm. Trying to keep the economy right. And as you're forcing out to break the Owl Drone, that's potentially a call there. That's somebody who's playing around that corner. You saw Unstable smelling the Owl Drone, then trying to catch Sholiana off the rotate towards the B link, but Sholiana, better aim in that duel for the first time between those two on this map. Now pivots EG back towards A.
Still being very quiet about it early on, Hannah. Towards mid. The rest of the players for EG making their way towards this A site. For the split, and
standing ahead.
It's gonna depend actually on Stephanie holding this. Not gonna be anybody up close, and again another free site here.
Yeah, it's still a tough one. Low weaponry, trying to get a retake on a Judge. So I like it that we're playing close to the door here for Katarina. Recon Dart to potentially, hopefully get some wall bangs with the Sheriffs. But that's going to get nullified. 0 point just came out by Pyrapixel. It's going to take a little bit longer before this Recon Dart could come out. And what great utility from Pyrapixel once again, just holding everything back. Pretty much looking for exits at this point. For DSG. The drop in, the drop through, 2 players inside the smoke. Nanoswarm on top of that. But you definitely know here the fate has been sealed. EG's gonna get this one done due time. Even jumping out of the smoke.
And that is the 4th one for EG. Attacking side already looking pretty good for this squad. One of the players that we highlighted a couple times was Power Pixel. Either before today or before this match, #1 on assists. Already having 4 on this map, and we see it constantly, whether it is, you know, the assist that you see with the util, with the null command, with the knife, but you also see it with the swings and the way that Power Pixel is always playing around Kinsey, trying to get that support for Kinsey to go in and to shine the way that they want to, right on site. This time around, DSG was looking for that contact. As you see that Reyna towards that A side, doesn't spot anybody.
Using preemptive utility just to break the KG utility on the other end, and it works out for the Alarm Bot and 1 Nanoswarm. Still 1 available. As Lazy Lion's looking for potentially a timing to get the Recon Dart out. Instead, it's Unstable pushing through before the lockdown breaks as they grab the first kill of the round. Finally, EG decides to press forward inside the B site. Theo watching the flanks, about to go head-to-head against Katarina. There's the long range, there's the loss. Finally, DSG finding some life. Post plan for EG.
And EG knows that the other side, for Unstable, there's an operator here.
Yeah.
It's a 3v5 for the retake.
And potentially, I was going to say a 5v2 because of the smoke that was blocking out the entrance. But EG somehow turns it around. Stephanie with 4 kills somehow. And EG, they hold a 3 versus 5.
A 3v5 for EG. Again, that was the story that we saw on map #1. EG sometimes, and being actually the team that got taken down early on the most. And yet, they still turn things around into the late round. Everybody, it's just a dream scenario for a team, right? Everybody's just getting their ones. Everybody's getting the kills that they're supposed to get. The utility just connects perfectly. And that is massive as well. Once again, Stephanie stepping up on this killjoy. Finding those kills, finding the last couple ones needed, forcing DSG into an eco. Any sheriffs at hand. No bleed storm this time around.
Good done.
Well, at least he got sheriffs. Katarina getting the opener. The Pirate Pixel has that support, looking up on Catwalk, dropping Misu. And as this continues forward, Katarina is pretty much in a one and done unless she could get a pick and dismiss away.
And even then, the range for that dismiss.
Yeah, very difficult. And unfortunately, couldn't connect onto that. Had the backstab shot onto Stephanie as now it initiates EG to split towards this A site. Clock is dwindling down, but Lazy Lion does not want to use their Hunter's Fury. As instead, it's going to come down to a recon swarm with the sheriffs. You're already seeing her watching these angles, yeah. No value off the recon dart. Instantly watch turret to get information now available for Stephanie on the pulse point. Nice shot by Hannah, but that's pretty much going to be it. Katarina picks up a Vandal.
One enemy remaining.
Instantly popped by Thea as she breaks the turret. And Lazy Lion, best you could do now, save the Vandal.
On target. One enemy remaining.
Or get 2 kills.
Oh. Maybe 3?
Just 2. Just 2.
There was a chance there for a second. You see Katarina going from mid. Before this retake, going from mid, but there's an alarm but towards tree, so that play with the last 2 players as everybody else was getting taken down for Lazy Lion, and Katarina was instantly denied, taking an early timeout too. Well, the 6 rounds, it just seems like the right time, and it is a DSG that to me is looking like what we saw early on Fracture, right? Just trying to understand how EG is playing, trying to understand how these hits are looking like, and then we see kind of that momentum go the way of DSG. But Ascent is not an easy map to do this on, and these are rounds that are very much needed on the defense.
Yeah. With the comp that you're currently running too, I know it took a while for them to get their economy right too for DSG. Remember, they got pretty much ecoed on that second round, or they lost at least the second round when they won pistol. It's been very difficult to get that correctly, to try to work those extremities where they found that success for earlier on. It's taken longer for Unstable to get the operator out too, to try to lock down an area for Katarina to get some value out from the extremities as this Reyna. So you're hoping now that the rounds are piling up here, and finally we got some ults online for a lot of the players for DSG, if not at least for one. There you go, 4 of them.
Swarm grenade.
This is an opportunity here for DSG to stop the bleeding, patch it all up, and get some value out of this operator too in the hands of Unstable.
Scanning ahead.
Interesting to see how these ultimates are gonna play out. We've seen the Empress and the Hunter's Fury being available for now a couple rounds. The Hunter's Fury obviously being the most important one here. Same is going to be waiting for Stephanie to get that lockdown, try to utilize it that way, or go for that kind of pick. Very aggressive now.
Makes it a 1-for-1. More wall bangs coming through from Lazy Lion.
Deploying
but still, that's not until Kinsey was able to drop another player right there. Thankfully here it's still a Hunter's Fury and a lockdown. A lockdown being very potent for the retake here.
Yeah. With the 3v3, things are even. There's an Odin though for Lazy Lion, the only one on site right now.
Yeah.
The other 2 members of DSG still positioned on this A side, and that's the info that they needed.
You need good comms. I like this. The comms out from Lazy Lion to say, okay, they're trying to hit this. Let's just hit our double nanoswarms now. A TB towards the back of the site. That was a strange commitment, but Thea still makes it a 1v1. Trying to come across. And Thea's watching towards the market because the null command from Power Pixel is looking straight towards the spawn. With 20 seconds left, Thea has to abandon her teammate and go for the plant, which then allows here Unstable to move in from the spawn. Thea in the back of the site. Unstable moving down with this op still at the staircase. Thea doesn't want to overcommit, but continues to jiggle a little bit further out. Positions now on the right side. Unstable still looking for the contact from the back of the site. Both of them, no idea. And now, as the barrel of the gun sticks out of the operator, Thea gets the opening blow and the closing blow too.
It's just a feeling as well for Thea right at the end. Trying to swing, doesn't spot anything, knows that it's just enough
Enemy remaining.
of that time and turns right. That's when she finds a pick right at the end. And it continues this domination that has been for EG on map number 3. Or map number 2 of Ascent.
We want to see the map number
Still
3
available.
for sure.
We do.
I don't know if it's gonna happen now at this point. I mean, it's been very EG so far on their attack half.
This is their map, right? And they're playing the standard comp. The other side of DSG trying to play around with this Reyna. And it's been good for a couple kills, but when the play really comes through, that's when the EG are finding the most value. Lockdown here for Stephanie. Those B side still.
Dodging the Allen drone too at the minute mark. There's still actually a ping that comes out early. So beware for that moment is, or that position rather, is GSG. Pinging that out. But as they have lower weaponry, very hard for them to hold these at long angles. And the longer angles you take, the advantage comes in for the rifles that EG has as they move now towards the B site. But easy plat now coming out. Power
30
pistol
seconds
watching over the cross from B main. Judge cannot get too much.
One enemy remaining.
Just swings there.
Yeah, man.
The swings and the kills, each one of them going the side of EG, and you see as well how aware they are as they are just trying to fight for this B side. You see the turret going all the way up. They've seen what Katarina has been trying to do towards mid, and they're able to at least hold up with some utility. They go right into side, and that's when you see the post plan once again. A flawless post plan, if anything, over and over again for EG. And it does feel like Kinsey is making everybody's job so much easier for EG. Going right in, finding those kills, and getting that space. 14 and 5. With another Blade Storm here. He's back on the A side.
Get out of my way.
That's not going to be good enough here. The recon dart's used towards that B link. Okay, that's actually pretty good here. But then Kinsey's dash towards the A site. Has control now on the top. The off angle here. That was close. Katarina now falls away.
You should run.
Counter Hunter's Fury coming out on the attack. And you see the lockdown coming through here as well on the attack for the post plant. DSG will have to wait it out. On top of that, Mizu's very far. Thankfully, he has from the shadows if needed be to get information, as they don't have the recon dart to work with yet. Unstable now, spotted out. How do we still have an owl drone here on the pulse plant for EG? But that's great utility for EG to continue their positioning on the pulse plant. Recon dart 2, wall bangs across. 2 players fall for DSG. That's gonna be it pretty much here, Dan.
Yeah, the tag's so great once again for the Sova. And like you mentioned, a lot of the util that just gets to be kept by how easy EG are just getting the space towards the A side. We've seen towards B, it does commit, it does invest a little bit more, but those ultimates were more than enough for EG to get to 9.
It was still a nice idea, the recon dart from Lazy Lion that went towards the B link, saw that nobody was defaulting there. So you have an opportunity here to just go for a Hunter's Fury towards A main. If you don't ping anybody there, sweep across your mouse pad to go for a Hunter's Fury towards B and maybe get some information. They got it towards that A site, but we just couldn't react, unfortunately, fast enough on the aggression that EG has from Kinsey's opening and the space that they create.
And now all 5 players of this attacking side back into B. They spot the operator.
Yeah. The okay.
No
that was
way.
a nice try. But EG is just feeling it right now, Dan. Look at that.
Oh yeah,
Left,
they're
right,
feeling it.
drive-by headshot.
Oh
DSG,
yeah, they're
what
feeling
answer
it.
do you have? Yeah, there's nothing much, unfortunately.
Yeah, and this is one of those rounds where you just see EG walking over DSG.
Even stomping.
Definitely.
One enemy
That Lear
remaining.
trying to come in, and again, the post plan just so good all across this site. Leaving Misu alone into a 1v4, time running out. Is going to be another round. It's going to be double digits secure for EG.
Yeah. And they don't mind even leaving the site to hunt down Misu. All of them on this round win. Actually, 3 of them are going to be at 9,000 credits.
They just have, yeah, they have everything.
Yep. So spreading across the map, trying to find Misu. Looks like she's going to be
Coming
safe.
back. Recalling my bot.
One more round
Round before the switch.
of the half.
At least for the half, exactly. At least for the half.
Yeah. One more round here. It is the chance, at least for DSG, to take it to 2. But I mean, it's just been so dominant for EG. And the way that they're playing is the way that you expect this composition to be playing out, right? The composition that we've seen so many different times, and one that you can tell they've been preparing. This is their map pick. Everything is going standard for them, and that is enough to shut it down. Look, 3 Guardians for DSG into the last buy, to the last round.
Yeah. And unstable, swing it out. Nice flick shot by Kinsey. An opportunity, or at least an attempt earlier on by DSG to paranoia, double updraft, and see towards A main. They understand, they read it correctly, but they're still a good operator here on the attack, juggling it away. Kinsey watching the flank as they has fallen once again at the B link. Al drone to push Kinsey away. But nobody's there to break that drone, so Kinsey's gonna get pinged out, doesn't care, swinging forward, has that dash. And Katarina ducks just under that bullet to get the headshot back onto Kinsey. Advantage back for DSG here. We mentioned an opportunity to salvage the rounds. The push-outs from EG are getting punished. Back to the last 2 players stuck in the back of the site. Lear coming out, shock darts missing towards the back, but Powerpixel does land that shot onto Lazy Lion. A drop there, off angle being played. Nanoswarm out, and it's up to Stephanie, and that's the second round you finally wanted as the DSG team. A clean retake and also a clean push.
To work.
DSG played their own game, in the game that they wanted to play from the beginning
Switching sides.
on this defensive side. Initially, you saw a lot of them trying to play around mid, trying to push towards mid, trying to go on that flank for that retake, and they were getting denied over and over again. For this one, they go for the attempt with 3 players, and that's when they finally find some answers. But we've seen this scoreline before today. And it took us all the way to overtime. We gotta see if DSG can make this one happen. Because before they were on the winning side of it.
And let's go to the basics. Thankfully, we have double duelists on the attack. On paper, DSG's looking good, right?
Blinding.
DSG's gonna get this, right?
They should get this pistol. They need this pistol.
At least initial util, the turret falls. A dash in to close the door. Nanoswarm trying to push Stephanie back, but she breaks it and throws her own counter utility. Double push inside of that smoke. Katarina gets the right click onto Stephanie. Answered back by Powerpixel. Recon right inside the smoke. Trades happening so far from both of the teams. We don't care about the spike.
remaining.
We're playing team deathmatch. There's only 1 player left alive, and it's Lazy Lion on a 2 versus 1. Up against Kinsey and Sholiana, jumping back up on the sidewalk. As
You
both
can go all the
players-
way around.
Exactly, has the timing. Both players walking down now at the staircase. Both of the players also not understanding where Lazy Lion is until they double swing out just to clear towards B main. The kill comes through, and EG get the pistol.
EG feeling it once again for the pistol. And Kinsey especially with 22 kills.
Started off well. Both duelists did go towards the spawn to get the pick. So they opened up, but trying to fight back towards the switch side. I mean, you got the rest of
Things
EG
got a
that
little
can shoot.
messy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, a little messy over there. But again, EG is the one who's able to come up on top. Deny the momentum that we talked about DSG
Revealing it.
showing that they benefit so much from. And look at that tag, it's 3. The Ares as well for Sholiana. Never mind, shot down.
That's a Bucky! 2 kills with the Bucky. Low HP though on the rest of DSG. Halfway mark, Bucky close range, dash activated. Looking for an underhand throw, but waiting just a bit longer before they want to initiate that. Waiting for Thea to get through. She will get spotted by the alarm bot though, so the attackers will now get ready for that. Using more utility to delay. Here's that battle. A Judge versus a Bucky. But the upper hand comes back for EG. Stingers though for the last 2 players. A 2 versus 1. Right kick classic on the first! And Katarina saves it there for DSG.
Katarina again on the pistol. It doesn't matter if it's the 1v1, the 1v2, she's gonna hold it down. But in that kind of situation, it did get scary for a second. Looking at things go the other way around for EG. And another 1-1 scoreline right at the beginning of the half.
Yeah. This was...
Katarina holding it, but...
Off a force spy for DSG there, Dan. And
yeah.
they still want to invest a lot here. Bulldogs, Vandals, big paranoia out. Dashed away from Thea. Counter recon dart. Sharon's trying to get some shots. Wine has been dropped finally. Yeah. Just stood there and kept shooting shots until Katarina ran into that. But juggling here, the weapons away.
So 2 of them got hit on the side of EG. One of them getting taken down on each side, and that's that rotation coming through.
It's a long rotation.
EG having a read on it. I mean, EG are already here.
That's what I'm saying. Now you did delay, deny, you headshot on top of that. Hannah falls. EG looking to 30 back against DSG's force buy of that second round. Fully blinded though for Stephanie to swing out. Lazy line takes her down.
On the Sova towards mid still. This is so uncomfortable for DSG.
Oh yeah,
Spike
especially
down
now.
B.
Sholiana is trying to move forward. Stopped by Unstable. Back to a 2 versus 2, but Spike is
30
down.
seconds left.
The other one's being
The
hurt. The
rifles.
swing out. Stopped by Unstable. And unfortunately, Kinsey couldn't avenge their teammate Unstable. We talked about heroic plays time and again for DSG this time around. You're finally seeing some players really stepping up to the plate here in these clutch moments when the team needs them the most. You're able to string out now 2 rounds in a row.
Yeah. 2 rounds. And the 2 rifles there. It was
Exactly.
a 2v2.
Still a decent buy.
Yeah, and the rifles get to be kept for this next round for the one that they would like to hold on to now. That would continue to deny this the swing rounds that would
Revealing
maybe allow EG to close it out. And DSG on the other side with a Hunter's Fury with the Bulldog. Lazy Lion has been getting some insane kills with the Bulldog as well. So a big opportunity. Trying to open up the space towards mid. Unstable spawning one of the players all the way back.
Deploying drone.
And you see from EG's playstyle now.
You guys are gonna be seeing here.
Yeah. But it's just the alarm bot that's going to help out a little bit more. If they try to commit onto this, could be a paranoia off the alarm bot. Meanwhile, though, Hunter's Fury out. Looking back here towards A main. They are forced to swing out and picked up by Misu. Still 2 players anchored inside the A site for EG. Open it up and held by Stephanie for 3 kills before we have this 2 versus 2.
And Spike running to the other side of the map.
Yeah.
At that point, the null command came through. Nothing you can do. I don't understand how Stephanie does this all the time. When you're expecting it the least, she's gonna be there.
30
2,
seconds left.
3, 4 kills.
She's cracked.
Standing ahead.
I mean, insane player. And another 2v2 on the series. Spike should get planted here.
And opening a door to make them think that Hannah
Last
rotated
player
through.
standing.
It only turns out to be a 1v1. Lazy line, though. You mentioned that Bulldog, and it's good enough for that 1v1 win. And DSG starting to get the caster bless here with the rounds that they needed.
They are getting But they wanted to get from the beginning, even with Stephanie. That was going massive right on site. Turns into a 1v1. Power Pixel just putting a little bit of damage, but Lazy Lion again with the Bulldog being that savior. And a DSG that once again gets to see another day of this map. Trying to make sure it doesn't get to the map point. To the match point would be at that point. In that scenario.
Area.
Spike on the floor. Slower play for DSG.
I have the spike.
Blade Storm. If both of the jets are available, we only got to hear one. And an eco for EG.
Here.
There's no stacks. Just more pressure towards the mid.
Placing alarm bot.
Leveraging now Stephanie in the B site to try to delay as much as they can with this Killjoy utility.
Give me those.
They're trying to go for a triple flank in the end for EG, but Unstable still opens it up first with the Blade Storm.
3 behind.
Paranoia. Unstable dodges it. Empress also picked off, or activated rather, by Katarina. Playing towards the logs. Support from a crossfire? Not there. Now anime battle towards the front of the switch. As Unstable is looking to swing back out, but pushed away here by the fragment. All of EG stuck towards the sidewalk. And all of DSG inside the site. This is going to get very scary and bloody. Nice headshot there to Kinsey. Canceling out the Vandal picked up. Another one into Power Pixel with a right-click classic. Only 2 players alive now onto the sidewalk. Dropping down a 4th kill. Unstable is stepping up the second half.
How did Unstable get that last one with the classic? That's what I want to know. It looks so fast. And playing very, very close. Kinsey trying to do the same. Katarina holding that position we saw her holding there before. Gets taken down, gets cleared out by Kinsey, and yet Unstable goes massive for the play. 4 rounds in a row.
Turret out.
And a B hit. I want to see happening again. It's a lot of these reactive plays for DSG that have been great into the late round to close it out. Stephanie, in the meantime, has been holding on to this lockdown. They haven't had the chance, right, to play that full retake so far.
Even for DSG, there's no pressure on mid. Lots of extremities here. Alir on the B side gets hurt. The Aldrome probably gets hurt on A main. So EG definitely just not budging at all. Here the Odin getting shot to try to counteract. This is actually good. One Lear actually keeps everybody there towards this B site. Now Orb gets picked up. Potential lockdown to lockdown.
Yeah. The lockdown there for the read because Stephanie is getting all this info, communicating to her teammates. I think I'm close actually.
Oh, walking through, and a recon dart's perfect there for Stephanie to get the second kill. At least we have the lockdown still on the attack. As Stephanie falls, there's no lockdown on the defense, so they can waste that clock down on that spike a little bit more. As Katarina is looking to move forward, trying to catch one off guard, eats the Paranoia, thrown out by Thea. Odin is getting a little bit of a tag there. Down onto Misu, who's playing double hell with Hannah. Shot darts ringing across. Katarina is doing the heroic play here towards the tree. Now jiggling against Kinsey. Meanwhile, we're holding our spots at the bottom of hell. A tap on the spike, and there's no time at all. This will be a round coming out for DSG, but at the expense of everybody dying now for DSG on the post plant.
Everybody getting taken down. A couple rounds ago, when we got to see that half, I mentioned the 10-2 that we saw earlier today. That was actually DSG on the winning side. And it went all the way to overtime, yet they were still able to close it out. The question was if they could make this run, they could get this done. And slowly, they're making it happen. The attacking side clearly the most comfortable one for this composition, for this double duelist of Katarina Unstable on that Reyna and the Jet. And it is, yeah, it's been a couple rounds. You need to take that time out. figure out how they're going to attempt to close this out. And I mean, Kinsey is trying their hardest to close this out. 27 kills for the Jet of EG, fighting to make it to the main event through the upper bracket. Only a couple of rounds away from doing so, but DSG is not making it easy at all.
Took a long time too here for before EG Jovi calls out a timeout for the team.
Yeah.
So trying to understand how DSG is currently working this map has been a lot of these extremity controls. But this time around, there's not going to be any type of trick play really happening for EG. It's just going to try to go for a peek out into tree. With that recon dart going out here from the back of mid. They definitely know where Lazy Lion is currently at. Potentially trying to do the same thing as they tried to do here. DSG on the defense was activating the dash and try to catch one off the owl drone, but instead it's a walkthrough contact. That's going to spot enough. That's one. That's two. And that's the lineup. Paranoia comes across the dashboard. The Reyna's trying to come to help out, but Katarina also gets picked off by Power Pixel. But there's still one more player lurking behind. Unstable has to stay alive at this point here to give a chance for Hannah to get the backstab kill against Power Pixel. There's that flash, hides and tucks around the corner. The fragment will push her out. The triple swing, and low HP is going to be Hannah. Jumping on the top, one-way smoke. No opportunity for Hannah to punish. Drops down to make some noise, picks up the spike. But meanwhile, this is going to give a lot of weapons to get picked up, potentially picked up now by EG.
The 1v3, 30 HP per Hannah. It seems like it's around
30 seconds left.
EG after that timeout. And DSG, they had the right idea. After the timeout, they expected some sort of aggression for EG, but they expected it more on that B side. Not from mid, not all the way around. That is the thrifty. That is the match point for EG. You saw how they expected the aggression. Two of the players so far back, right in the spawn. And it is just not the way DSG expected things to go.
But that's the thing. Off the timeout, we were just talking about it at the timeout, lots of extremity control. EG walks down mid for contact.
Yeah.
And the time here with DSG is not having any players setting up utility to watch that flank. Or at least aware, should be aware that this could happen. To get fully punished out of that, and another nail potentially to the coffin. A recon dart, Odin dropping a player, and DSG has a broken economy. The time when you have EG at map and series point, the economy is low for DSG to try to salvage this round.
Oh, and yet they're still trying to fight back. A couple of rifles for Katarina and Lazy Lion. The spike is gonna get planted.
My ult is ready. Shot done.
Still very much doable with a 4v4.
Just trying to delay here. Katarina only at 4 HP. Spot it now. Paranoia pushed away. Unstable hiding inside the smoke. Looking for a double swing for both duelists if you can. There's that first swing across the second. Doesn't work out. Walking right across. Nice little flick by Thea. 2 versus 2. Hunter's Fury on the attack. Instantly used to try to delay the clock.
Standing.
Shot is missed. Oh no, they're sticking it.
Enemy remaining.
Sholiana, Lazy Lion has to push forward, but not enough time.
Defenders
EG
win.
goes forward for the defuse, and they win this series.
Out of charges.
EG 2-0 with another defuse in the middle of the chaos, but EG, they're able to move forward to the main event. And it was the same as Fracture though. DSG starting out a little bit slower. They start to get the understanding in on that second half of how this should be played out, how aggressive they have to be. They get those multiple rounds in a row, but it was just a little too late for that full comeback.
Insane plays all around. I mean, another opportunity for DSG as we're having hope here on the comeback. Just like that first map, unfortunately a very slow start, but coming back here to make this very competitive, where technically we thought it was already over when they were only able to score 2 rounds there. on that half, right? Or on that map when we're starting things on Ascent. And unfortunately, it becomes a fake comeback.
A comeback. I feel like the theme of the day here. But hey, if DSG is showing anything, they're not going to go quietly. They're going to go kicking and screaming a little bit. But hey, they're not out of it. There is still a lower bracket run where I'm sure they're going to have a lot of success there. But Evil Genius is Dan on the day. This is the team to beat. They did so fantastic in their last series, and they definitely lived up to that in this match.
It is the EG that we expected. That's why I was excited to see how it was gonna play out. DSG was showing more and more and more every single time throughout this series, but it felt like the perfect kind of test that DSG needed to face. An EG that is super structured, super coordinated. They're gonna take advantage of those mistakes that you make, of the map control that you're not taking, and they're gonna punish it every single time. For DSG, again, they started to get the understanding right at the end, but the rounds were not enough. I still think we're gonna see more of the squad, but in the meantime, I mean, great for EG, a team and players that we've known for such a long time, and it makes sense that they also make it to the main event this way.
I definitely agree. Definitely when you're looking at DSG's run for today. Technically, if they lost against FlyQuest, we would have said, hey, that's what we expected anyways, right? Playing against EG as well, 2-0, that's what we expected, that EG would take this. This is a team that just got put together by Toast, and with coaches coming in, they don't have too much time to work with to build up this roster and get ready for this Game Changers, and already they've upset FlyQuest, where at the beginning of this show, we talked about what? A core that's been around for a very long time, a 5-player roster that's been around potentially since CLG Red, and then for EG, who has been around for a very long time since Kinsey joined the roster with Power Pixel. Yet they still made it very competitive when they had a long series at the beginning of this show too, by the way, for DSG.
They definitely did, but congratulations yet again for Evil Geniuses for qualifying to the main event. Of course, we are going to have a chance to sit and talk to them a little bit about that. But first, we have our Prime Gaming match highlights for everyone to enjoy. So sit back, enjoy. We'll see you in a few.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. 30 seconds left. One enemy remaining.
Edged up.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Strike down A. One enemy remaining.
Well, it's a great day to qualify some teams for the main event of VCT Game Changers. And we have another one joining us, Evil Geniuses, with the 2-0 to be advancing on into our main event here. And to talk to me a little bit more about that, we have the first off, congrats. Great stuff. Not only just qualifying, but y'all made it look easy. How are you feeling knowing that you're in this main event now?
Feeling great. Yeah, we're just going with the flow, playing our game. Happy to be here.
See some good vibes in the background there as well. So
Definitely.
everything good over there. And I want to ask too, because of course, Evil Geniuses, all the players over there are not really strangers to the Game Changers competition. So I wanted to get a little bit of your thoughts of how you think the competition is stacking up this time around, as we have, a couple teams already qualified for this main event.
I think all of the teams going into this are so good. I think all of the Game Changers teams are taking it so seriously and, putting a lot into improving and just being better teams. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how all the teams perform. But yeah, I'm just happy for everyone. I'm happy to see everyone doing so well, and I'm excited to play them.
It's so wholesome coming out there. And I'd love to get your thoughts too about the series that you had with DSG, because they're definitely a team making some waves, but you guys seem to shut them down in a couple of their unique ways. So I would love to your thoughts on that and how you're able to shut them down so well.
Yeah, I think they're such a good team. I'm so happy to see like them beating FlyQuest and everything. Like they're doing great. But yeah, we went into it very confident. And yeah, we just played our game. We are just playing our game, and we are fully confident going against anybody. We're not, reading too much into anything. I think they're a great team, but we were just better.
Well, and the evil genius is the fact that you have made this run before, making it to the main event, falling a little bit short. So what's different about this time? What work has the team been putting in to make sure this could be your event?
Yeah, we have been putting so much work in. God bless my coach Jovi. He's amazing. Literally, I would not rather have anyone else. Like, he just prepares us so well. We, have intentional practice, and yeah, we just put a lot of time in, and probably just more than the other teams. And that's why we're going to do better this time.
I cannot wait to see that hard work pay off, because it definitely showed out there today. So congratulations yet again. Before I let you go, be with the team, have your little celebrations. Do you have any final words or any shout outs?
No, just thanks for supporting, and I hope we make you proud in the main event. Woo!
Best of luck. Congrats yet
Thank you
again.
so
Have a
much.
good night. Okay.
Thanks, you too.
As for us, it's been a long day, but we're going to bring our analyst back for just a little bit longer to break things down. Vance, how's your voice? I know it's,
I think it's getting a lot better now.
Oh, perfect, Peachy. So good, so good. Hey, at least if you've lost your voice fully, it was for a good cause, because we had some fire out there today.
I do agree. We had some very, very exciting and good games throughout the series today. We were looking at other matches where, it kind of went like one-sided towards the results, which was expected no matter what. I think when you're looking at teams like version 1 currently playing and whatnot. So I'm kind of happy that we're able to land and follow the path of DSG and witness some very good games throughout the stream tonight.
Yeah, 100%. And if anything has been improved, not just today, Dan, but honestly for the entirety of Game Changers so far, and it matches what Theo was saying as well, people have been putting in work. The competition out there is definitely fierce.
Mm-hmm. And we're seeing it with the amount of teams, first of all, that sign up, but also the mixes that are starting to happen between players that we know and players that we're just getting to know. It is a really good combination, and it's getting really competitive. I'm excited to see how Game Changers and this series is going to continue to go for those that are already making it to the main event.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much to celebrate with these teams and the growth and work everyone is putting in. But of course, with the end of our broadcast day, it does mean we have our own little celebration, and that is our Aim Lab flick of the day.
What do we have?
So I'm excited to see this. I don't know. This one's going to be a surprise for me.
Oh, Blake, you miss it.
That's a... Yeah, nope. I think that one's definitely deserving of to say. Keensey always
things.
just like... Yeah, it's just Keensey things, actually.
Yeah, it was actually a nice too, and I do remember that round. It was, I think, like some sort of half eco that we had there for DSG, and we tried to go for a paranoia double updraft to try to see towards A main. So a great read of expecting where the players were going to head towards to for EG, but Kinsey just had the sixth sense and knew exactly where the rotates were coming from, and just got a nice pick there onto unstable.
That's a check their PC moment, if I've ever seen
100%,
that.
100%.
That one is so good. But of course, we have more congratulations to go around. As our matches, we had some ones that definitely went the distance. So that meant that all the rest of our matches did have a chance to play out, so we can know who's qualifying onto the main event here, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
And we see some of the teams that you guys were saying you would expect to make it to the main event, to make it even one-sided for the matches that I had. Somebody like version 1, like Shopify, who actually had a pretty close series. Shopify take that victory 2-1 and move forward. Exit, another team that is looking great. So those names that you know in Game Changers, they're still here.
Yeah, and mind you, if you're looking at this bracket, don't be confused that you have like a version 1 versus EG and a Shopify versus XZ. These are only your 4 teams that's qualified, so we still have a lot more matches going on, or a lot of more teams rather, 4 more teams that have an opportunity to qualify in that lower bracket, and they're not going to be easy games, actually. If I want to look at it quickly, there's a potential of DSG versus Genji Black, a potential of FaZe Clan versus Team Karma or Breakthrough, which that is still happening right now. Complexity versus potentially FlagQuest or Misfits Black. And, of course, Unspoken Riz potentially against OtterPop. So there's still a lot of good teams that are currently fighting right now in that lower bracket.
Yeah, that is going to be such an intense fight. There is so much talent in that lower bracket.
Yeah.
It's going to be so heartbreaking to say goodbye to any of them, but I don't want to think about that for now. That'll be a tomorrow problem, all right? Tonight is just celebrating the teams that get qualified for that main event. It's been such a fun day, though, but it is time for us to go. Vance to rest his voice. Dan, you don't need to rest your voice. You never lose your voice, but hey, we'll see what we all get up to. Maybe do some Valorant. But thanks everyone so much for tuning in, sticking with us. Hope to see you back here tomorrow. Until then, have a good rest of your night.
That's done.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Spike down. One enemy remaining. Seconds left.